cars themselves?
Well, if it's hot, they'll be instructed, the drivers, to turn up the fuel consumption, which to help cool the engines. Now, this could cause some fuel mileage problems, and especially for the fast cars.
So, Bobby, how do you think the Mercedes-Benz will do?
Well, remember one thing, Paul. The Mercedes engines have never been tested in a race or at temperatures as hot as we think it's going to be today. Also, because of their added horsepower, they're going to be a little bit harder on the tires. But without these problems, I think they're going to be untouchable. And remember, this is still the toughest 500 miles in racing, so anything can happen.
All right, Bobby Unser. Mario is now joined by his son Michael as they move out from the alleyway back to the garages and is in the pit area. And there is Al Unser Jr. The best start he's ever had here has been 5th. He's won once, and today he starts on the pole. The clock continues to count as Bobby Rahal waits to get back in the 500. It's just over 12 minutes until the engines start. Robbie Gordon is ready.
David Letterman never misses an Indianapolis 500. In fact, he's close friends with Bobby and Debbie Rahal. The drivers are beginning to get in their cars, and a man who knows what they're going through is Danny Sullivan. Danny?
Jack, this is one of the most critical times for the drivers. They have to shut out the well-wishers, the family, the fans, and the sponsors. And they've got to reacquaint themselves with the cockpit. This is a time when they got to shut all that you see behind me out of there. And for 9 rookies, that is very difficult because this scene they have never experienced before. Jack?
There's less than 10 minutes before the field of 33 here come to life. You can feel the anticipation as a crowd of over 500,000 assemble to wish these 33 fastest men in the world, as we look at Mario Andretti, the view that he will have for the final time inside a race car here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Who would have thought back in 1969 that he would come into his retirement year with only 1 victory at the Brickyard? The huge crowd as seen from the Goodyear blimp circling the 2.5-mile facility as we prepare for the festivities. Michael Andretti coming back from Formula One. Emerson Fittipaldi, the defending champion of this Indianapolis 500. Will he be able to score back-to-back victories today? Mercedes power plant beneath that Team Penske automobile. He finds himself on the outside of that row. Florence Henderson, a veteran of TV, film, and Broadway, prepares for her rendition of the national anthem. Let's go to the public address system.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the golden voice of Florence Henderson. She joins the Purdue All-American Band. The presentation of colors as we salute the United States of America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
full speed quittens. We're minutes away from the command to start engines. We'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Live in Indianapolis. On this, the Memorial Day weekend, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway pauses in its formal ceremonies before the start of the engines to honor those who have sacrificed their lives in the defense of the United States in war.
Sport.
Years ago, 1944, the P-51 Mustang destroyed the German Air Force in the skies over Europe. The formation you just saw, P-51s, led by General Chuck Yeager, who shot down 13 German aircraft in 1944, 5 during one mission. General Yeager, no stranger to the Speedway. He's driven the pace car in 1986 and 88. He was the first pilot to fly faster than the sound in the Bell X-1 in 1947. Flying with General Yeager, Tom Woods, Paul Romine, and Brad Hood. The P-51s, a salute from them, a reminder of 50 years ago.
Race fans, on this day we gather together with friends and family from around the world. It's so nice to be back home again in Indiana. Please welcome our dear friend, Jim Neighbors.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the water, how I long for my Indiana home.
Jim Neighbors. We move control now to the front row, and the voice of Jim Philippi.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at that time of the day for the command that will start the 78th running of this event. And here to give the traditional forewords is Chairman Emeritus of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Board, Mrs. Mary Fendrick Holman.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
The waiting has come to an end. The engines are started on the straightaway at Indianapolis. The crews with one final check. Onboard camera of Robbie Gordon's car. Let's go down. Jerry Punch.
A.J. Foyt, what advice have you offered your rookie driver who's about to make his first ever Indy start?
I told him watch you start for 4 or 5 laps and we'll race for 400 miles on.
If anyone knows how to get the job done here at Indy, it is A.J. Foyt. Paul?
A.J. will be driving one of the parade cars here today. The pace car itself will be driven by the great Parnelli Jones. Here's the onboard camera on the nose of Bobby Rahal's car. How do you like that? Now here's Gary Gerald.
A 4-time Indy 500 winner, Rick Mears, this field about ready to move. Your concerns about the reliability of this new power plant to go 500 miles?
Well, the Mercedes has been running very well all month. You know, we knock on wood, we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can get the full 500 miles in. We've made it with some test motors, so you know, hopefully these will make it. And we just need to run all day, work the traffic, and spend the first half getting to the second half, and then we'll see.
We still miss you not being out there on the racetrack, Ray.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go to Jack.
As the cars pull away, Dick Simon, you've got 6 cars in the field. Where are you going to work in which pit today?
Well, I'll be down in the Duracell pit in J.C. Penney's for Lynn, and actually up and down like crazy. We're just really proud to have 6 cars in the show. It's the greatest show in the world.
Did you tell Raul anything about the first lap? Who's going to lead it?
I told him not to back off at all because all month the Mercedes have been going slow through the corner.
Well,
all right, one car with a problem. John Andretti. They have not yet started that car despite the fact the rest of the field has pulled away. And now they'll push the car. Yep, there he goes. They got him started. Raul Boesel as he pulls forward on the line. 500 miles, 200 laps, the race record held by Arie Luyendyk as we look at the Valvoline race analysis. The first fuel stop expected, barring yellows, at 25 laps. Field on the backstretch. The weather here today, the track temperature up to 112 degrees, but it should be one magnificently beautiful day here in Indianapolis. Not a cloud in the sky. Here's Jack Arute.
Well, Paul, there's been major changes on pit road. First of all, the signaling area that was once 11 feet, it's narrowed down to 5 feet. A new concrete retaining barrier on the outside to brand new asphalt lanes of racing on pit road. Then the concrete where the cars will be serviced. That resulted in an additional 6 feet for the crews. The crews have a brand new toy as well. They'll be able to keep up to date on the standings and the lap speeds with this handheld video pager.
We have in-car cameras all over the place. This one looking over the right-hand shoulder of Nigel Mansell, hoping not to make the rookie mistakes of last year. On Michael Andretti's car, look at this. Is this a great new angle? In this field, an assortment of chassis led by Lola. Renard with 7, the 93 Lola 6. Those 94 Penske's are something to keep an eye on. And then what about the engines in the field? Dominated by the Ford Cosworth XB, 7 Ilmor Indy V8s, and of course those 3 Mercedes-Benz that will be the focus of everyone. Let's go to Gary.
Paul, so much has been said, of course, about this controversial Mercedes-Benz power plant, new to this race, new to IndyCar racing. A couple of significant questions still unanswered. Will fuel consumption problems become a concern as this day evolves? And secondly, does it have that reliability, the durability to go 500 miles under race conditions? Now, the 3 Penske drivers think they've answered that emphatically with more than 7,000 miles of testing this month with that new engine. But there are 30 other drivers and teams that really want to know if their fears of a Mercedes dominance have been justified.
On board with Mario Andretti's car in his last Indianapolis 500 as he drives his Arrivederci Tour. And Raul Boesel over his right shoulder, the pace car just ahead. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
All success in motorsports requires commitment and sacrifice, and no one understands that better than rookie Dennis Vitolo and wife Corrine, who have